we are obligated as a business to try and take as much of your money as possible.
That's why we've come up with new products to sell you. We got shirts, we got hats, we got all kinds of things for you.
If you want a Brock Life shirt, if you want a Jetpack Rescue Squad shirt.
Ooh, that salmon cannon shirt's cool.
If you want any of that stuff, you want a hat that says "They's Aliens," we got you. We have concerns.com/shop.
And then it comes back. That'd be cool.
Sure.
Know.
Why not?
Why not?
You can name it. You can name anything you want. Nobody can stop you. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
Let me tell you a little story, Anthony.
Sure.
A story about a man. A man of 43 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Is this a story about you?
No, I'm
because they got your age wrong. They got it like 4 or 5 years too young.
Oh, come on. That hurts. This is a man, 44-year-old man. He's French. He's a father of 2. He started having leg pains, really weird leg pains. And he goes to the doctor. Doctor can't figure out why he's having these leg pains.
Spider eggs in his legs. Spider eggs in his legs?
No, I'm not going that dark. Although we are going kind of dark. He's got leg cramps, weird pain, can't figure it out. They put him through a CAT scan. They want to check out his brain, see what's going on. Guess what they find, Anthony? They find
spider eggs in his brain.
No spider eggs. Thank God. All right. I don't want to talk about any of that ever again.
Okay.
Although we probably will.
Yeah.
They find that this man has a condition called hydrocephalus, which is also known as water on the brain or waterhead. They say 90% of where his brain should be is water.
But not liquid. Just any water, vitamin water.
Delicious vitamin water. It tastes like cucumbers.
It gives him electrolytes like nobody else has.
This man
is crazy. Why?
44-year-old man has only 10% of a brain. 10% of a brain. You know how we always say, you only use about 10% of your brain. This guy actually only uses 10% of his brain.
Well, technically, he still uses 100% of his brain. He just has 10% of the brain the rest of us do.
Good point.
But here's my question. When you say 10% of a brain,
yes,
we really need to specify here. Is it tiny brain, full brain, but tiny, or is it just 10% of the structures that we have?
It is 10% of the structures that we have. Or, I mean, it's 10% of the mass of a brain. It's the thing is scientists don't understand how this could be.
But I'm talking, does he have like left hemisphere, right hemisphere? No. He's got like his frontal lobe. He's got like his occipital lobe. No. Like he's got all that stuff.
It's not like somebody shrank a brain.
That's what I'm asking.
Stuck it in his skull.
Yeah. Like his brain just atrophied or something.
It is 10% of brain matter. It is a shaving of a brain, but for some reason he's able to use it like a full brain.
He got brain leavings. All he got was the brain leavings. So what parts of his brain? What structures does he have?
Because
he's clearly doing everything. He's got like executive functioning. He's got reasoning. He made it to 44 years old.
They gave him an IQ test, and it turned out that his IQ test came out as 84, which is slightly below normal range.
Below, yeah.
But this is not a socially inept person. He's not bright, but he's also not. He went through a whole life. He has kids. He has a job. He's fine.
We've talked about these things where people lose an entire segment of their brain, like the visual cortex, right? Like they'll lose that, and what'll happen is like some other part of their brain will pick up the slack, and it works. It works a little differently, but it works. Like the brain repurposes itself. This guy is using 10% of a brain?
Yeah, the scientists say that it is truly incredible, and it's completely rewriting what we think we know about the brain, because we're mapping the brain. We think that there are certain specific places. If you have a brain injury, sometimes things can shut off because that part of the brain is essential. But this man, basically because he only had this, they saying it's changing what we know about elasticity.
I mean, this makes sense because I only have 10% of a penis and I'm doing all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
10% of a penis.
Yeah.
I
felt like I had to do that.
Okay.
I felt like I had to do that. Mostly because I've been living in the secret shame of having 10% of a penis my whole life. And it just felt good to get it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't tweet at me about this, guys.
So basically, the plasticity and elasticity of the brain is now coming into complete question, because what happened was, as this guy was growing up, that amount of brain matter was always what he had, right? It wasn't that he lost something
Yeah.
or it changed at a certain point. He only ever had this, and the brain just went, okay, well, we'll work with that. We'll make it work.
We will survive. We
Yeah.
will do what we need to do to make everything in this body work.
Yes.
My question, I literally have like a million, but the first two that pop into my head are, if that brain is working overdrive, like I wonder how much he eats during the day.
Oh, if it like requires less energy?
If he's using less or more energy, because the brain
Wow.
like is about 20% of our energy. It burns 20% of our fuel.
That's a really interesting question.
Like I want to know that. And then number two, did they weigh his head?
Well, it's liquid, so you think it would be heavier?
Yeah, do they weigh
Than a
his
brain?
head?
I don't know. It doesn't say in the
I
article.
want to know what his head weighs in comparison to like what the average head weighs. And like, does it slosh around?
Probably does, dude. There's a lot of vitamin water up in there.
There's a lot of vitamin. There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
He's got that purple vitamin water. He's got that 50-cent vitamin water.
Oh, the purple stuff.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
Yeah.
That's the best vitamin water. But like, yeah, what does it feel like to have a free-floating brain?
The crazy thing too is that
all of our brains are free-floating, but not that much.
Yeah. I don't think it moves around.
It's just wiggling.
It's just like a
You think
drip.
it's just wiggling
It's like one tiny little turd.
I picture it like a
toilet
kite.
bowl.
I picture just like a kite
Yeah,
flying around there on a
just
string of a brainstem.
My analogy was a little grosser, but you know how sometimes you just have a little turd?
Yeah.
And it's just sitting there in the toilet bowl floating.
Yeah.
And it's like all alone. It's
Yeah.
like the little Mr. Hanky, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I imagine his brain is. It's just like backstroking through his skull. Just like chilling in the toilet bowl of his
God,
brain.
the shit he must be getting from his friends and family right now.
Yeah. Well, you've got 2 kids. You've got a wife. A wife married you.
Yeah.
You know, she thought she got a great husband, and now she finds out he has a tiny brain.
Dude, if I found out that you had tiny brain, I would be ragging on you all the time.
I know you would.
I would imagine that you would do the same to me.
Yeah.
Like that's your friends would just rag on you for having tiny brain.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so obnoxious. Oh, that would be annoying.
I mean, the scientific
When in
term,
reality, it's a story of like amazing perseverance.
actually, yeah, he's kind of greater than it. I got a giant brain and I barely use it. He's got a tiny brain. He makes massive use of it.
75% of my brain is Simpsons quotes.
That's right.
That's 75% of it.
That's the real tragedy is that this guy, all he knows is eat my shorts. That's the only one he knows.
That's the only one he knows.
It's
He doesn't.
really
If you say Lisa needs braces to him,
No.
he doesn't
know what
notice.
that is.
He doesn't know to say dental plan.
No.
He doesn't know to say that. It's sad.
I mean,
we need you to donate to his Indiegogo.
please. Give this man some Simpsons quotes.
What was causing the leg pain, Jeff?
Well, that's funny. They don't go into that. That's what brought him in. It may not have even been related to this. They just discovered it. He also had worked out hard that day.
It was just a pair of scissors that he stuck in his legs because he's a dummy. Because he's got 10% brain. And they were like, bro, you stuck a scissors into this leg and a fork into this leg. And he's like, now I don't lose scissors or fork.
They're always with me.
Always with me are scissors and fork.
Yeah, it is weird that it took him this long because he talks like that.
I like that we're immediately doing the thing that we said we shouldn't do to him.
Yeah.
Like immediately.
I like scissors and fork.
Yeah.
No, he's a completely capable man.
Yeah.
He has a job. He works in the service industry. He's
He's
great.
the head of the Labour Party in England.
This man
was
Donald
the
Trump.
architect of Brexit. He's doing fine. Is it the Labour Party that did Brexit?
I don't know.
I don't.
It's all fucked.
I'm sorry for all of you guys over there. I'm not paying as much attention as I should.
We got our own problems.
Oh yeah, we got a lot going on over here, you guys. I don't know if you heard, but we've got kind of like a big thing coming up in November.
So they're what we've been trying to figure out in the brain. Really, there's more we don't know about the brain than we know.
Yes.
We are baffled by this is literally the most complicated thing we have ever discovered is the thing that all of us carry around with us all the time, our brains. And we've been trying to figure out where consciousness sits in the brain, like mapping it out, seeing what stuff fires when we do certain things. Where is consciousness? Does it live in a place? And they're saying maybe it doesn't live in a place.
It's
if it doesn't need a place,
I don't think it's a thing.
it doesn't need a place.
I think consciousness is just, not to get like philosophy 101, we're all sitting around high in the dorm room, but I think consciousness is just the result of a bunch of distributed processing systems working together.
Yeah.
Right? Like all of these things are working together and sharing information, and the end result of all the information being synthesized is consciousness. I don't think there's a place in the brain where it's like, that's where Jeff is, that's where Anthony is. That's like, no, it's like, okay, we're taking in visual data, auditory data.
It's the sum total.
We have reflexive stuff going on. We have all this stuff going on, and it comes in. We have learned memory, and it just comes in and it goes, all of that stuff together makes this in this moment. And that's consciousness. And so when you're like, I don't know, it's like poking around. It's like when the Greeks were like, oh, it's probably just steam. We're like made of steam. And the steam goes into the head, and the more steam you have, the angrier you are.
Yeah.
Like when we say I'm looking for consciousness in the brain, that's what I hear.
Right.
I hear us saying something like that.
But like the question for me is, how little is too little? Like if this guy could work with 10%, would 9% he not function? Would he be brain dead? If he was just slightly less brain matter, like what is?
Well, I think it's the difference between we're seeing here, the difference between growing up with it or losing it, right?
Right. Because those systems have already adapted in the process of growing.
Yes. And like we do know that neuroplasticity slows down as you get older.
Right.
Like we know that, your brain doesn't change as well as you get older. And we also know that, you grow up as a certain person and then you lose a lot of brain function and you change. And so people go, oh, he changed. Because they're like, but if this guy's just growing up with this, like nothing's changing.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's wild to me. Like what is the least amount of matter that would make
I bet
a
I
person?
can do it with 3%.
You got.
I bet I can do it. I got 3%. Come on, can you go lower? Can you go lower?
I'm gonna go 2.
Can you go 2%?
Oh, I guess he went too far, folks.
Whoever can go lowest, the other one owes them a Coke.
Well, tune back in for another episode of Lose My Brain.
On next week's show, how many limbs? How many limbs can you lose? How many organs can you go without?
I'm gonna say 3. 3 organs.
3 organs. I can pick any organ.
Any
organ.
Not the heart. Not the heart. Oh man.
We're only 3 years away from that on reality television. I think
that's true. Yeah.
Do you remember when Wife Swap was a Dave Chappelle sketch and not a real show?
Yeah, no.
And we all laughed at that sketch.
Yeah, it became a real show.
We were like, "There's no way they're ever going to do that."
Yeah, that's a highly rated show on one of those networks. I don't even know which one. Celebrity Wife Swap, though. That's the classier version.
Well, Celebrity Wife Swap is just what goes on in the hills at night. You
Hey-o,
know what I'm saying? Hey,
Los Angeles.
Lots of Hollywood jokes for Hollywood.
I think this man, I mean, he's lived 44 years. He has 2 kids, but I think
he's doing it, man.
He has an obligation at this point to
allow us to crack open his skull.
Yeah, to deliver himself to science at this point, because there's just too many questions. We need to just.
And I'm sorry that those kids are going to lose their father, but I think the only way to do this is to literally just crack open his skull.
There's such a mess, though. There's so much water would pour out.
Well, you'd wear gloves.
Oh, that's true.
Not your nice shoes.
Yeah, you put down some plastic on the ground.
Yeah, just like newspaper, or
like
something.
A Gallagher show.
Yeah, like a beach towel.
Yeah. He is a man carrying a watermelon around
That's
on his
so
shoulders.
crazy.
With a tiny brain inside it.
Imagine this, though. Imagine this. He could take a headshot from an assassin.
Oh.
And just keep running.
That's
keep
true.
Running at him.
He could take 16 headshots from an assassin.
Dude, this guy's almost impossible to kill.
You can't hit his brain.
No.
It weaves and dodges in that sea of
It's on that
liquid.
little kite string. Floating around in there, and just the displacement of the water would cause it to move.
It's like trying to shoot
as
a tiny turd in a toilet bowl.
That's what it's like. You can't do it. He's unstoppable.
You can't.
He has an obligation to, number 1, hook himself up to electrodes for the rest of his life for us to study.
Right.
And number 2, become the world's greatest secret agent.
I mean, those don't have to be mutually exclusive.
No, when
he's got weekends.
When he's not out secret agenting.
Right.
He's in the lab being studied.
Yeah.
And once again, I'm sorry that those children have to lose their father.
You know
but
what?
I'm not that sorry. There are a lot of children.
There are a lot of fathers.
It's like, so 2 kids are unhappy.
Yeah.
You know how many
small
kids
price
are unhappy?
To pay for us having our curiosity fed, right?
Yeah.
That's a small price to pay. I'm curious, and you should lose
I'm
your
curious,
father.
And so you need to lose your father. Because I want to see what happens to your father, not to you.
No,
I'm literally never going to check in on you again.
Oh my God. It's sad that like the scientific term for this guy is waterhead.
No, it's great that
That's
the scientific term is waterhead.
Hydrocephalus, but they all around the office, all the doctors are saying waterhead.
Yo, you check out that dude with the waterhead?
Oh, yeah. There's We actually have partitioned a whole room off. It's the room that says Waterhead on the door now. So you go to Waterhead, the Waterhead, it's in the new Waterhead Hall. Yeah. In the Waterhead building.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna check out guy with wobbly heart, and then I'm gonna check out Waterhead. And
all right.
And hey guys, remember, be on your A game out there. We got to charge these people a lot of money. All right, we're going to check out your hydrocephaly here, but in just a moment, because I have to check out somebody who just had a myocardial infarction.
Oh.
So I'll be right back. This is a very serious condition.
Well, thank
you. You're insured, obviously. I mean, this is going to be very expensive, but it is a complicated procedure.
I know.
You're
highly trained and you're
hydrocephaly.
taking this very seriously.
Yeah.
Why does the door say watershed on it?
It's, that's Watership. One of the doctors their kids is reading Watership Down.
Oh, well, that makes sense to my tiny brain.
Yes, of course it does. I'll be right back. Your Waterhead fell for it! Charge him double!
We're not saying distrust doctors.
Yeah.
We're just saying all of them secretly ridicule you when they're out of the room. That's all we're saying.
My brother is a doctor, and I know that that's true.
Is that true?
Oh,
that's
yeah.
sad. You just threw your
They'll never
brother under the bus.
No. It's all doctors. It's not my brother. I would say that my brother is
all of them
is mild compared to some other doctors that I've heard
every
talking.
Doctor
they never use patient names, obviously.
Right.
Because they can't, but like, dude, I had this guy. And
every doctor you will ever meet has a story about taking something out of someone's butt. Every doctor.
Sure.
Not even it's not proctologist specific. It's just every doctor's like.
Especially every doctor that's met me.
He's like, this guy came in for 10% penis. You're not going to believe what I took out of his butt.
Yeah.
The other 90%.
The other 90% of his penis. How did it get there? And why are those scissors in your leg? Is what I said to him. And he just looked at me and he said, and that's my story. That's the story of Anthony Carboni.
Yeah.
This is crazy. It is definitely a story of
triumph, really.
Triumph.
It's a triumph
and
story.
The amazing adaptability of the human mind. I think my only question is, do you think his head weighs more or less than the average human head? I want to know what you guys think.
Yeah, more or less.
More or less. And by how much? Give me an over-under. Give me an over-under.
Adam Womack sent this in. I don't know if I said that at the
thanks,
beginning.
Adam Womack.
Yeah.
So let us know the over-under, whether it's heavier or lighter. I'm going to say heavier.
I think I'm going heavier,
I think
too,
it's heavier.
Water's
I think it's heavier. I think the brain is floating in brain fluid.
Right.
So,
lighter than water.
No. I'm going lighter. I'm going lighter.
I'm staying heavier.
I'm going lighter.
Science? Anybody know? Any doctors that are secretly making fun of us?
Yeah, let us know on Twitter. I'm at @Carboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
And you can hashtag those fork leg. Fork leg. And hey, by the way, if you are enjoying the show.
Oh, man. I'm enjoying the show a lot. I really am.
I'm just going to skip right by this week because I don't have time.
Right.
If you're enjoying the show, we would love it if you left us a 5-star review on whatever platform you listen on.
Yes, those are actually really helpful because people can discover the show based on those high rankings.
Yeah. And don't write a review, though. They're going to ask you to, but nobody reads them.
No one cares. I mean, we read them
we
religiously.
love that you do it. We read them religiously, but like, you don't have to do it. Nobody reads them.
Yeah.
Instead, what you can do is just let us know what percentage of your brain you think you could live and function with, and how much money you're willing to bet that you can
play the game show that's sweeping
play
the
the
nation.
Game show. How much of your body could you lose? And hypothetically tell us how many organs, how much brain, how much you think you could live without. Boy, Jeff, I sure do. I feel like I'm using 10% of my brain after Comic-Con. I'm just going to say goodbye.
Okay,
Goodbye.
bye.